Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Indie Music Podcast. And today we are talking about a band that slipped under the radar, I feel like, even back in their prominence. A band that I feel like could have even gotten a bigger chance from a bigger audience. And hopefully, they're still touring to this day, so hopefully that can happen. But we're not only going to talk about the band, we're talking about one of their biggest singles as well. But I wanted to give a little bit of a background story of the band first, very briefly, and then we're going to break down the song. So the band is Ra Ra Riot. They came from the East Coast in the early 2000s. And one interesting thing about them as a band is they toured extensively, even on another continent. They went over to Europe on their own dime, on their own dollar, to tour even before releasing their debut album. So their album is not out yet, and they are touring like crazy. I would say they went at least a year, if not a year and a half, touring before even releasing their debut album. So they had quite a group kind of supporting them even before they kind of, got out and went on an official tour supporting an album. But on a sad note, even before that first album was released as well, one of their band members, to this day, the story behind what happened is still not officially been given. So I don't want to speculate or draw attention to it. I just want to report what happened and then, leave it at that. But it is a part of their band history. But one of their band members, after even a performance, after a concert and after a party, had seemingly gone alone to the ocean, and their body was found the very next day. Now, again, what people make of that is what they decide to make on that. Even the band themselves did not really comment too much on the incident, of course. But to this day, there's still really no, full explanation given as to what happened, sadly, to their band member. And really, the biggest thing that happened was Ra Ra Riot said that they were still going to continue as a band even after this tragedy happened. Now, they released their very first album, Rumline, and it was included in that 2008 album is the song Can You Tell? Even though Can You Tell had come out on their self-titled EP a little, I would say, around a year earlier. But it definitely was one of their biggest songs as well. So what is the song about? Well, first, actually, let's break down the intro, because that's the first thing that you hear when the song comes on. Now, Ra Ra Riot is made up of 6 people. Well, at least at the time, they were made up of 6 people. It was a 4-piece band, and they had a cello player, which sometimes she would play an electric cello as well, and a violin player. The lead singer did not play an instrument. He would just sing. And the early days of Ra Ra Riot, for the fans of them, they know the cello and the violin player were used extensively at that time. They were just a huge part of the band. And Can You Tell, I think, is one of the best examples of that. Now, the song opens up with just simply the strings playing. That's it. And then the lead singer comes in singing with that. And then there's a slight drum beat where he's hitting the big bass drum, doing some footwork. And then mid-verse, if not towards the end of the verse, the guitars and drum cut in fully at that point. And I would say the breakdown of that song fits what he's singing about almost perfectly, because this is a ballad about unrequited love. So, seen from the perspective of the person telling the story, You can kind of sense their timidness in the beginning, which is why I feel like the strings fit the song perfectly. And then by the time that all the instruments cut in, this person is starting to kind of gaining some kind of ground behind what they're saying, or maybe they kind of think, well, you know what, I've gone this far explaining my love anyway, so now they go full in. Because the opening verses talk about things such as, have I been too discreet? How long am I supposed to wait? But I think about you nightly. Can you tell I'm losing sleep? But what am I supposed to do? You know, and then by the time the verse cuts in, he gets a little bit more stronger with his lyrics, where he starts singing such things like, my bed's too big for just me. Now, one part of this song with the lyrics is he uses the lyric a lot, standing by your sister fair. I was looking up exactly what that meant, and there isn't really too much on this song because, again, this is an indie band. They didn't get huge recognition. And the only thing I could kind of find was that lyric might simply just mean maybe the person tends to find themselves with this person that they like and they have a crush on, just with large groups of people. You know, maybe they can never get them alone to kind of express their feelings to this person. But let me know what y'all think, because like I said, I couldn't really find anything on that. And really, the second verse kind of continues along the same path. Really what I wanted to touch on was the bridge of the song, which I think is just absolutely amazing. He breaks it down, his love, once again, you know, where he says, when I look in your eyes, I tend to lose my thoughts. And don't forget your stare. And what was that you said? Could you let me know, because I can't read your mind? And again, the music just crescendos up to when he hits that note when he sings Can You Tell again. And then pretty much the song plays out after that. But it's just a very simple but very powerful ballad. And you have to watch the music video for it as well, because the music video almost complements the song perfectly, where it's people standing, it's pretty much the band, standing outside of a door trying to look in through kind of like the looking hole there. But nobody answers the door, so they end up kind of just playing on the person's front lawn. It's perfect. You know, it fits the title message of the song perfectly. Now, Can You Tell was one of their biggest hits. Even to this day, it's a crowd favorite. You know, it's very well known. Now, I'm not going to comment too much on what Ra Ra Riot has done now, where I might do a full band breakdown later. But pretty much, Ra Ra Riot steered the course of their music style for their second album, but their third album, they drastically changed their sound, and sadly, that's also where their cellist left, was at that point during the third album. And again, they're kind of private, so they don't go into, you know, really what happened, but definitely a change of sound for them, and they have released another album as well. But let me know what you guys think. Have you listened to Can You Tell? What do you think about it? And how about Ra Ra Riot as a band? Have you heard of them? Definitely a band to check out if you haven't listened to them before. But that is what I've got for you guys this week, and I will talk to y'all later.